Hello everyone, and welcome back to DMG. Today's, a pretty exciting video. I'm going to be taking this computer and building a Linux system for testing my code on. So first of all, let's go over what it already has. So this system here is an HP ProDesk 600G1, specifically the small form factor version. Now I wanted a small PC, I didn't want a full mid-tower. Even though a mid-tower would have better upgradability potential, I wanted a, small, portable computer, because I didn't really need a lot of power. So, first of all, what's already in here? We have 2 sticks of DDR3. Let's see exactly what it is, because I'm kind of curious. Okay, yeah, they are 4 gigabytes each, 1 rank by 8. Speed's not listed on that side. And, okay, so there's no chips on that side. So, these are OEM, they have an HP logo on them. They're made by Kingston using, Micron chips. But yeah, I'll test the speed of these once I get this on. Snap this back in. It's hard to work on a computer sitting down. Alright, so, and then the CPU under this cooler, which, by the way, it has a lovely Cooler Master fan on it. So hopefully I will get masterful cooling from it. But the CPU under here is a Core i5 4590. So that's a 4th gen i5, 4 cores, 4 threads, up to 3.7 gigahertz turbo. And beyond that, it's your general, generic bland OEM motherboard. We have 3 PCIe X2, I think. Are those X2? Yeah, PCIe X2, and then a 16X slot here. So, what we're going to put in it. First of all, this Quadro K620 graphics card. It's low profile. It's very efficient. It only consumes 45 watts of power, and it has a 2 gigabyte DDR3 frame buffer. It's not the fastest in the world. It places between the Vega 11 integrated graphics found on, mid, high-end Ryzen CPUs and NVIDIA's GT 1030, a, low-profile, low-power consumption GPU. This one's based off the Pascal series, I believe. So it's, it's not the newest out there. I could have just gone with the GeForce card, but number 1, I already had this one, and number 2, I quite prefer the NVIDIA X server settings versus the GeForce drivers when it comes to Linux. So this will just slide nicely in there. Alright, GPU is in. It has one of those nice, it's one of those HP toolless case things where it has this little flap that slides over the expansion slots. It's nice. No screws required, quite easy to work on, easy to take cards out and put them in. And then, I bought this with no hard drive. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add this little SSD. They're really cheap. It's a 64 gig drive. I don't need much storage on this machine. I just need I prefer an SSD boot drive for reliability. These also aren't the fastest drives in the world. I'm going to be releasing a full review on these King Chuzing drives, but they're only like 150 megabytes a second read, so not the most speedy. So yeah, we'll just plug in the SATA connectors. it requires these weird proprietary bays that are, they're like $13 each. It's more than I paid for the drive. So I'm just kind of stuff it in there. That's another reason I wanted an SSD. And then finally we have this USB memory card reader that just plugs into a USB header on the motherboard. I will just slide this right into the front panel. Which, okay, this is going to be a bit harder than I thought it would be to install. See, this bay doesn't use screws. It uses these clips. So I think it's intended for like a 3.5-inch hard drive, but there's still a hole on the front panel. So I guess floppy drive, but I guess it would be some kind of OEM proprietary thing, because there are no screw holes, there are no screws. Clips. You use clips to clip the drive in, but they don't fit this drive. So I think I'm, after I finish filming, just going to drill some extra holes in the case for screw holes. Oh, my drive got wedged. Let's see. And then I would need this USB cable to plug in on the motherboard right here. There we go. Oh, and something I forgot to mention earlier, this is a 240 watt power supply, so that does limit the GPU you can put in there. I believe it is limited to 75 watts on the slot. But, I mean, because this is an 84-ish watt CPU, I still wanted to keep the wattage low, because, I didn't want the system to get very hot. You can put up to an i7-4771, that's, let's see, that's 4 cores, 8 threads, and a boost of, I believe, 3.9 gigahertz, but that was a bit faster than I needed. Again, this is literally just going to run Ubuntu for Minecraft server and testing Linux code. So yeah, that's about it we're going to do with this system today. If you're looking to build a, cheap gaming PC, this would be a great option. Again, I would recommend like a low-profile GTX 1650 instead of the Quadro, because you can find cards that are better for gaming for a lot cheaper than the Quadro cards. Alright, moment of truth. We're going to power it on for the first time. Monitor is on. Alright, we've got a power light on it, which is good. Do we have video? Yes, we do! Alright, I want to go into the BIOS really quickly. Okay, just gotta go to System Information. Alright, here we go. So yeah, as you can see, i5 4590, 3.3 gigahertz. Yeah, 8192 megabytes of DDR3 1600, and yeah, dual channel RAM. Perfect. So yeah, BIOS is from 2015, so I assume whatever business owned this before me updated it at some point. But yeah. Alright, so I just finished installing Ubuntu on it. It's rebooting right now, and it should, if everything went well, it should boot right back into Ubuntu. Come on. Oh, we got a cursor. Let's go. Okay, yeah. So, really quickly, I just want to show off the Quadro settings for Linux, the NVIDIA X server. There are so many settings compared to what you can do on the on just like the regular GeForce drivers. So that's definitely why I wanted, this version installed. See, it's running very well. It's extremely quiet. the hiss sound in the background is just the air conditioner. I'm sitting only like 2 feet away and can barely hear it at all. So I'm overall very satisfied with this machine. And as I said earlier, I'm going to use it to test Linux builds of my Unity games. Wait a minute. First, I want to test... Oh! The eject button on the keyboard actually ejects the drive. I want to look at this drive. So, because of space constraints, obviously, this drive is a laptop drive. And, I mean, looks like a pretty standard laptop drive. Before I end the video, I do want to show off the capabilities of that Quadro K620. Right now I have Mindtest pulled up. It's a, pretty simple, not too hard to run game. It's an open source game based on Minecraft. Let's check NVIDIA X server settings. So, the memory clock is 1800 megahertz, graphics clock is 1006. Let's see, for maximum performance. What's the max clock? Okay, 1058 and 1800. We'll set it back to auto. So, as you can see, the slowdown temp is all the way up at 96 Celsius. You can't change that. But yeah, its current temp is 55. It stays extremely cool. So yeah, just walking around in a game, you can see it is quite smooth. I'd say we're getting easily 60 FPS. So that's it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.